Well, team, we finally got ourselves an A plus setup. Ticker OCEA gave us our A plus setup. It was a stock over $2, had a share float under 25 million share float. We had a volume candle, volume stick, close above our predetermined resistance, 641, and sure enough, we went up to that $7 level and hit target. Close below had a major red. Then we got back above with our required volume, as we can see in that yellow candle with the BB volume hunter, and we remained bullish from there all the way up to, of course, $7, closed above 7 and continued up to this target. Now this was very interesting. We hit our predetermined level at 781, rejected with a major red soon after, right? So hit resistance. Now we're looking for a close over that level. Well, sure enough, what do we get? A close over that level. This yellow candle here, it has 68,000 shares, closed over that level at a close of 782. The level we had was 781, continued its way up and hit its target, sure enough, right before market open. Had a major red at market open, then halted up into that level, continued its way up all the way to resistance, halted a few times here at the opening bell, right? Predetermined level 945. Of course, 950 being the $0.50 resistance. It hit 949, 1 penny shy. We had a smaller time frame level at 973 and 1012 above that with $10 organic in between. This one here was a negative 10% candle. So pretty nasty major red there, followed by another major red, another 9% negative candle. So an 18% to 20% negative move in 2 minutes, right? So pretty nasty move on OCEA. So you would think it would be done, right? Close below, it's bearish. Well, it came over here, touched, did not close above, knifed again. Well, it didn't look too hot, did it? Well, we closed back above that predetermined level of 781, held that level as support, as you can see right here, continued to grind up with lots of volume. Again, these white candles are 100,000 shares or more, grind all the way up into our predetermined resistance of 945, and guess what? That 973 hit. Did we close over? No. We had a bullish vertical trend. We can see that, a bullish vertical trend right here. If you can read that, it looks a little wonky, right? Bullish vertical trend on OCEA leading into our resistance of 973. We never got up to that 1012 or $10. 977 was the high. Nasty rejection here. 13% negative candle. If you don't have these levels on your chart, then I do believe you're at a major disadvantage. OCEA closed below this level. It is bearish. Continued its way down. Closed below this level. Bearish. Closed above. We got ourselves a little choppiness action here. We could see the volume start to taper down with these yellow candles. It kind of just died out on us in volume, right? So it bounced on this level a few times. And yes, it held this level, but it wasn't really clean. But it was a white candle here showing that there was a little bit more volume. Again, we can see 111,000 shares when I scroll over that candle. And we can see that we held that level right here and this wick. We never closed back below. So if you had your stop loss somewhere down here, you were protected in this trade. Sure enough, it gapped up from there. And let's just measure that gap just to see what kind of potential there was on this trade. So with this gap, that's a 21% potential. This gap had filled before, so we're not looking at this as a high quality setup. But again, it's a 20% trade. If you keep a stop loss somewhere in here, you're giving maybe a 5% stop loss to give a 20% potential gain on the trade. So we grinded up, right? OCEA continued to grind up. We got over here with this high volume candles, and sure enough, again, a bullish vertical trend right at our resistance. So did not close above, did not consider this bullish. Well, we closed above right here, right? Green candle closed above. Next candle closed right below. If our level is at 945, that's where we're trying to add into our position. 945, this candle closed at 944. So as soon as that candle closed under, we know that's bearish. And now at this point, we're looking for this gap. Has already filled, so we're looking for a close over the 973, although that is a smaller time frame level. So want to be a little hesitant taking that type of trade, right? Especially after these major reds. Scroll over to the right, we can see OCEA grinded up into that level again, closed above, closed below, bearish, and then a major red. So if you got out on this bearish candle, well, you avoided that major red right there on OCEA. Again, yellow candles, we can see a red candle here, green candle there. That means that it's pretty low volume at this point. So we're tapering down in volume, bullish vertical trends popping up, major reds again following that. grinding up slowly, and then sure enough, we got that volume again. White candle. That means high volume. We got high volume here. It was a bullish vertical trend, but guess what? It didn't really care, did it? OCEA closed above that 945 level, closed also above the 973, held that 973 level, and then continued to hit that target 1012, close above, close below right here. So it started to get a little choppy. Now, keep in mind that once we get above the 1012, 1050 would be target. The high of this candle here was 1055. So that means on this bullish vertical trend, it hit that 1050 resistance. So to really deem this as bullish, we want to see a close over 1050 at this point because we already filled that gap. Now, the issue with that is we're trading around a 1050 level, and 1050 is not a major weighted level. As you can see, it's not a line on my chart. So that means I don't want to be overly aggressive at a $half mental level. If I'm going to be aggressive at a whole dollar or a $half level, I'd prefer it to be at the whole dollar, but really I don't like to be aggressive with those type of trades. Now, came over here, did not close above, finally closed above on this candle. We can see if I hover over this, you can see this was a green candle, right? Closed above that resistance. Wasn't extremely bullish looking type candle, but it did close above and did give that little scalp. If you held on to it, it gave a little pop, and there you go. Again, 1050 was the target. So 1012 was the level it closed over. 1050 would be the target. Needs to hold that level. Close below 1050 is bearish. As we can see, it closed above, closed back below on this red candle. This is the 1050 level. So OCEA was getting a little choppy in this zone here. And we can see it then start to taper down again in volume. And we need to see these white candles to have that high volume during the regular market session. Now, we failed that level again over here. This was a close at 1067, and then this was a knife. So again, around that $half level, unfortunately, had a major knife. So of course, if you got in the first close above 1050 again, which was this candle right here, I'll zoom in so you guys can see better. This candle was a close at 1059. So if you got in at the close of that candle, sure, you got yourself a little pop into this. And let's measure that. So maybe you get a little pop into the high of this candle. It's only 2%, and it's not really that great of a potential on your trade when you're risking these type of negative candles. Now, we know about these negative candles because we have those major pink candles from before. So we're well aware that this is not a high quality setup, and we're well aware that this is not a major level. This is the $half level. So it's a mental level. So this is that 1050 spot. Soon after we just had that major knife, we then came back up. We closed above, but we did not have a bullish engulfing candle over. We got a little choppy this price action, and you can see we closed above and closed below right here, signaling that it was bearish again. We finally closed back above the 1050 over on this candle, which was a high of 1060 and a close at 1060, and then continued to move up and hit target from there. We wanted to see it close above 11 and then hold that level, but sure enough, it did not hold that level, letting us know that it is now bearish. Needs to close over $11 to get to 1149 and 1150 $half resistance. So that's OCEA. Now, what we're looking for tomorrow, right? So that was today's price action. Now, what are we looking for tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're looking for a close over these resistance levels. So I consider this a cluster of resistance, right? $11, $11.49, $11.50, $11.61, and $11.67. That's a cluster of resistance. What I want to see is a clean close over the $11.61 and $11.67 area to then hold that level as support. Now, if we close back below, I'll look at that as bearish and get back out of the trade. What I want to see is it close above this level, clean, hold that level, and then scale into target, which would be $12, the whole dollar test. Now, I'll keep in mind those major reds, so I'll probably get in, get green, and get out quick, and then hold myself a lotto in case I feel it's going to continue on the day. If it looks strong, I'll hold on to it and look for a close over each one of these predetermined levels, $12, $12.50, 13, and as it closes above these levels, I'll then look at that to put my stop. So if it closes back below 12, well, I'll get back out of my trade, even though I'm in from 1161 and 1167. Now, if we start to fall down, we've got support levels around 781, 641, 570, and 430. Now, I'm not big on buying the dip, but I will be watching for oversold plays on OCEA, as it did have a lot of volume today at 60 million shares. So OCEA is on watch for tomorrow. These are the levels that I'm watching. If we get really hot, guys, we have a gap from $11.61 all the way to $14. So that's a really wide and large gap, but we do have the half and whole dollar in between. So keep that in mind, half and whole dollar. So good luck tomorrow, guys. I'll see you in the pre-market.